Alright, this is what we learned, picks and bans, game 5 of Cloud9 vs Gravity. A little bit delayed here, I was having some issues with the game, the live stream of it. It's definitely on my end, but yeah, so let's talk about this. We got a Azir finally coming out for Cloud9. We got like two dual threat comps. I don't know if Malphite's gonna be building damage or if he's gonna be building tank. I assume it's gonna be a mix of both. So, but I mean, his ultimate's gonna hurt regardless. So let's talk about this damage versus effective HP. Coming out of Cloud9, we have a pretty strong sort of sustained damage line with Azir and Ashe. Uh, if they're left alive, they definitely have enough damage to kill Lee Sin, Malphite, Fizz, Tristana. So yeah, that's definitely fine. Fizz and Tristana, I think they're. I mean, Tristana's like a hyper carry come late game, so she has more than enough damage. Fizz, he only really has 2 targets to worry about, so again, that's not really too bad for him to worry. So it's definitely fine. Pressure. So Cloud9 should have pressure with Azir, and they should be able to zone with Azir at like 800 range. If they want to set up and try to take an objective, they just put the Azir soldiers down in the direction that Tristana and some of the other main people from Gravity are going to be coming from, and then rely on Elise, Janna, and Ashe to sort of deal with anybody that gets past Azir. Also, Azir's ultimate, you can affect people with that. So they can control the pressure. Now, Gravity actually has a pretty good engage comp coming in here. They have the Malphite, they have Lee Sin. Lee Sin could go in after Malphite and just kick Azir as far back as he wants, just out of the fight, and kind of allow for Tristana and Fizz to kill Ashe. And in that sort of situation, once that happens, Azir's going to have a lot of trouble moving his damage around the field to hit every target he needs to. So that could be a big issue. And normally, well, Janna has the knockback to disengage the Malphite or Lee Sin or the Fizz, but they can follow it back up with anyone. So like they can do a staged engage and just keep throwing people at the Azir, and Janna can't deal with that. Azir can deal with it. That's the thing with Azir, is he can disengage. They have Janna disengage. I can't not give this to Cloud9 because of that. The disengage. So carry versus control. Let's take a look at this. Fizz. They can definitely control Fizz. They have an Ashe Arrow. Ashe Arrow can even control Tristana, although she has the cleanse. But yeah, you can use it to control. Even control Malphite. I wouldn't be surprised if you could stun Malphite in the middle of his ultimate with the Ashe Arrow. That'd be really good timing. I'd be impressed if I saw that happen. I don't know if it's even possible though. What about the other team? I think both teams have pretty good carry versus control. And they both have, equal situations here, so the damage is going to be kind of like messing around. So Cloud9 can disengage Fizz. They outrange the Tristana with the Azir, so they can control both the main carries that way, while Gravity has Lee Sin, Malphite, and Fizz all kind of going in and messing around, and Tristana outranges that Ashe. Not really, but eventually she will. And the Braum can block like the Ashe, so they can control just as well as Cloud9 can. So now poke versus sustain. Neither team really has any poke. While Cloud9 does have a lot more sustain. But neither team really has the poke, so it doesn't really matter. It's basically Azir's range. That is interesting for effective HP. I wasn't really thinking about that. The Janna heal is going to be a big deal. And I almost want to give this It really depends. Okay, Malphite's building tank. I'm cheating a little bit because 7 minutes in the game I saw that. So like C9 is probably going to have an advantage just because of the Janna heal. It's pick versus disengage. Cloud9 is very good disengage. They also have Elise for pick and Ashe for pick. So this is actually really heavy to Cloud9. The other side has disengage, and you know Cloud9 doesn't really have good follow up. If Azir goes in to like get a pick and uses his knockback, knock someone back instead of zoning people, Cloud9's gonna lose the fight. They need Azir to zone and pressure. They don't need Azir to assassinate and engage upon a pick. That should not be happening. Burst versus healing, it's neutral. Fizz, you know, is a little bursty. Malphite's a good burst, but Janna should be able to deal with that. Shen can deal with that. They have a lot of. Actually, this is C9 completely because worst case scenario, Azir can burst if he needs to, and Gravity doesn't really have anything to deal with that. So that's actually definitely something very, very strong for Cloud9 because Cloud9 can deal with any of the burst coming in from Gravity. So now we got Shen. Shen split pushing Malphite. It's a little better for Cloud9, but nothing too spectacular. They are going to want to pressure turrets and stuff, so that's definitely relevant, but it's not that big of a deal. Huh. That's disappointing. I thought Gravity would have better score here. So late game pressure. No, because of Azir. That's what I'm worried about. Okay. So judging just by the picks and bans, I think Cloud9 sort of have this game in the bag. But like, and they would have like a medium win chance. You can't ever count out the Malphite ultimate into like a perfect wombo combo fish knock up Malphite like death trap. If that happens, yeah, Cloud9 is pretty screwed for that team fight. But the important thing is that Azir needs to be used to zone. It needs to be used for zoning and disengaging. If Cloud9 attempts to use him to follow up on an Ashe arrow pick, that the only say they hit the Tristana with an Ashe arrow and Tristana's entire team's around them, and then Azir goes into the entire team to try to get that Tristana, even if they don't have cleanse or whatever. Azir's probably gonna die. He might kill one person. That's not what you want to be doing with Azir right now. You really want to just use him for pressure and use him to counteract the whole thing. And I'd be worried that Cloud9 might mess that up, but I'm not too worried. Nah, because Incarnation's a little safe. Nah, I ain't really worried. So I think Cloud9 has pretty much the commanding lead here, but watch Azir. Watch Azir. If Azir dives, Gravity wins. If Azir dives, Gravity wins. Just watch that, because it could be the vital thing that decides this match and brings Gravity onto the next level. So there we are.